Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. So today, the thing that came to my mind is I would say 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday, when the president was doing his, I would say, daily update on the coronavirus with his task force. And there was a reporter that asked him a specific question. And I believe it was Jim Acosta, I think is his name. I think got his name correct, maybe wrong. But it started off with, Mr. President. I think the question he asked was something along this way was, Mr. President, I know it's an uncomfortable question, but I do want to ask you. So he proceeded to ask pretty much the gist of his question was that, if we had responded, if the U.S. had responded earlier to the virus, what would the graph look like, right? So when I saw that, the thing that pop up to my mind, curiously enough, is, well, what's behind the question? Why? Now, to be fair, I am, I take this questions and this type of press briefing. I like watching them just to get data, just to see. But one thing stood out for me was, for some reason, the word blame. Reason I say that is this. Say if you're on a ship and the ship is sinking, right? Say you're on the Titanic and the Titanic is sinking, right? Do you stand around as, well, if we had not hit the iceberg, right? Or if we had reacted earlier and not hit the iceberg, what would you think? How many people would we have saved? I think there's a time and place for reflection, but I think now is not the time. I think my biggest issue is the timing of it all. This is my opinion, right? I think time will tell whether we did it right or wrong. As the person in charge, in this instance the president, he had a decision to make based on the data that he has. Whether it's good or bad data, he has to make the call. He made a call, right or wrong. I'm not saying that I'm agreeing with him. I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with him. But regardless of that, right or wrong, he's responsible for those decisions that he made. Now, oftentimes we like to blame. We like to jump into this mode of blaming really quickly. But I think in a situation like this, especially when it hasn't ended, I know if it's a reflection upon something that had already happened, and we're already past this pandemic, then I say okay. I look forward to reflecting on things and how we can get better, right? Improve. But in this instance, I don't think it helps more than anything else. I think the focus should be today, where we at, what are we gonna do? It's past, decisions already made. We are where we're at today. What do we need to do to move forward? How can we be better at what we do today than yesterday? I think it's a day-by-day basis because it's an unknown. So I think this is one of those where it struck me, interestingly enough, that I shift my thinking was, whoa, why do we ask that question? Is there a need to ask that question? Is now the time? So I think, my message for all of you is: are you quick to blame? Are we in an organization that's quick to blame? Are we in a society that's quick to blame? Or are we one that is working together to help solve the problem? There is a time and place for everything. I say let's solve the problem today. Where are we at today? Let's move forward and solve the problem, and then figure out how to be better in the next time. So I think one of the things that I would say, the South Korean way of handling it was way better. I think there's a video on it by Asian Boss that interviewed the South Korea's top leading person that was leading the response to COVID-19. I think his response was awesome. I love his quote. One at the end, you got to watch through all of it. It's about 30 minutes long. A great response to each one of those things. And then at the very end, they talk about this is a time where we have to be humble, humble till the end, so that we know how to respond to save more lives. So that's it for today. Bye.